Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Fate Stay Night Remastered, where I have yet again screwed myself over by ending the previous episode off with a choice that I have to make. However, this time I actually remembered about it and was able to give it some thought. I was able to sleep on this choice, and I think I'm going to choose the second one because we have seen it previously. Saber and Shirou need to stick together. They have to. And thinking about it, strategically and, just overall with how we know these characters, Emiya is a mysterious bag of who the hell knows, and Rin is capable, very capable. She's smart and a little bit too much at times, but smart to get out of some sticky situations. I do feel like she would be okay, even so she does not have Archer. I think Emiya would be capable somehow, even so she does not have Berserker. Because we are under attack. Caster is here, and she has brought some friends. Who are these friends? No idea. But I think we need to head out there and see what the hell is going on. It's clear who the enemy is. If Caster is attacking with an entire army, there's only one thing for us to do.
ここにいても始まらない。セイバー、一緒に来てくれ。登坂はエリアを。
See, they're gonna be okay.
そんなの私だって願い下げよう。けどあんた、シロウの言うことなら聞くって言ったでしょ。あいつが言ってるんだから、おとなしく従いなさい。
I will say this, guys. The only way this will not work is basically with what we saw out of, well, the first bad ending that I got. For some odd reason, us being around Caster, or specifically Shirou being around Caster, is not good. That is an overall weakness. So we'll see what happens here.
そんなの知らない。セイバーなんかより私の方が役に立つ。
Tosaka grabs Emiya from behind in a full Nelson and covers her mouth. Emiya, her voice muffled, continues shouting insults and expletives.
わかってる。イリアは私が守りきるわ。その間にあなたはキャスターを倒しなさい。
Yeah, I don't know about full-on defeat, but, we'll see what we can do here.
できるだけ無理はするなよ。敵を倒すことより逃げることを考えろ。
Tosaka nods as if to say she doesn't have to be reminded. I turn my back to Tosaka and head toward the veranda.
セイバー、わかっています。シロウは私が。
Saber follows me after nodding to Tosaka. Whoa, okay, well, I didn't know what to necessarily expect here, but it wasn't that. It really was not that. Jesus Christ, that's horrific. In that instant, I doubt my own eyes. A sword swings down at me. I stand stunned as the blade descends toward my head. I twist away and parry with my wooden sword. Even I don't believe it. My body just reacted the instant I knew I was in mortal peril. The enemy attacks again without missing a beat. A smooth mechanical movement. A fluid, accurate attack. But that's it. It's accurate, but it's not sophisticated, and it lacks the brutality of a killing strike. It seems pathetic next to the strength of Saber's strikes, like it's barely moving in comparison in Berserker's incredible speed. Back against the wall, I parry again. As I step back against the wall, Saber strikes like lightning.
シロウ、無事ですか?
Yeah, good to see you're in fighting form, ready to go.
肝を冷やしたけど、なんとかなって。
なんとかなったではありません。このような時は私の後ろについてこなければダメです。
Yeah, I know exactly who she's quoting here. Saber scolds me for my carelessness. She's right, but I didn't want to just stay behind her.
シロウ、私の話を聞いていますか?
ちゃんと聞いてる。それよりセイバー、今のやつは。
The hallway is empty. Whatever hideous thing Saber saved me from was completely annihilated by her attack.
今のはイリアスフィールの言っていた通り、魔物の体を触媒にしてかたどった兵士です。 オートマタというよりゴーレムのようですが質は低いですね。今のゴーレム程度なら取り囲まれても問題はありませんが。
God damn. That's what I look like on a bad day. I don't know where they were hiding. How the hell many did they manage to sneak in? What? And these crudely assembled things scuttle all around us, closing in like spiders. But they're not the only presence I sense. Countless others surround my house. Many times more than I see here.
Shirou, 横です。
I leap away from the wall. I strike at the bones with my wooden sword. Saber sweeps away the bones crawling toward my exposed back. The bones move jerkily towards us, attacking with the same unnatural movements. It's not hard to fight them off, but we're destroying more of the house with every strike. Yeah, sounds like it. And I only have a wooden sword. Even if I use strengthening on it, it won't last. As much as I hope I'm wrong, and it seems like the bones heading for us are endless. I really hope this isn't going to go on until we both collapse from exhaustion. Yeah, my fear is that they just keep on getting up no matter what. I can't help but complain as I fight back to back with Saber. There aren't that many bones coming at me. Some seem to be coming from inside the house, but most seem to be coming from the yard. Saber is slashing away at the bones coming from the yard. It looks like they're heading towards the living room. Tosuka and Ilya are in there, and Saber has her hands full dealing with the bones heading that way. Saber readies her sword. There may be no need to hide it now. Her golden sword is ready to demonstrate its true power.
待てセイバー、ダメだ。エクスカリバーは使うな。内が吹っ飛ぶ分には構わな。あ、いや構うけど、それでも周りは住宅地だ。こ。
I shout to Saber as I bat away the bones striking at me.
マスターの指示ならば従いますが、これだけの数をまともに相手にするのは面倒です。一掃しなければいずれ窮地に立たされます。
分かってる。要するにあれは使い魔の類だろう。なら操り手を叩けば一網打尽だ。そういえばキャスターの気配は探れるか？
I doubt it.
探るまでもありません。
Oh,
キャスター
okay.
は庭にいます。
Never mind.
気配を隠しもしないということは私たちを誘っているようですが。
So is it a trap?
構わない。誘いに乗ろう。どっちにしたってこんなことを続けてたらこっちが先に参っちまう。
Now that's the rational thinking we needed.
私は一向に構わないのですが。ではこのままキャスターを。
The yard is just ahead. If Castor's just out there, she shouldn't be too difficult to reach. But if we do that, we won't be defending the house. Saber's fighting the bones off now, but as soon as she's outside, the wall holding them all back will be gone. I should... Ah, fuck. Believe in Tosuka or leave Castor to Saber. Well, what the fuck are we gonna do? I don't know about believing in Tosuka. I mean, she's capable. Ah, fuck. This is a test of the argument that I basically created a bit earlier, in that, you know, we should head out and Tosuka and Ilya will be fine on their own. But fuck, what the hell could... Shit. Oh, this is a tough one. Believe in Tosuka or leave Castor to Saber. I kind of want to believe in this one, because it seems like Shirou is the weakness in the fight against Castor. So I'm gonna go with this one. I feel bad about relying only on Saber, but I have no choice. We may have come out together, but I'm just slowing her down. Saber should have no trouble getting past those bone things and reaching Castor alone.
Saber, 頼めるか？
はい。では、シローはリンのところに戻ってください。リンとイリアスフィールの力があれば、数分は持ちこたえられる。
Now hold on, is this kind of just falling back on the other choice then?
分かった。今で待ってるからな。
すぐに戻ります。
I don't like this choice all of a
先ほど宝具を
sudden.
使おうとした私が言えることではないのですが、ここはシローの家だ。これ以上このような者たちになど荒らさせません。
Saber launches herself into the yard, which means we've got the creepy crawlies going on here, the bones. She chops effortlessly through the army of bones.
よし
I hurry back to the living room. If I stay here, I might end up surrounded by those bone creatures, and Saber might worry.
シロ、どうしたの？セイバーに何かあった？
ああ、いや違うんだ。キャスターの使い魔、骨の人形なんだが異様に数が多い。このままじゃ数で押されかねないから、セイバーは元凶であるキャスターを倒しに行った。俺は足手まといになるから、セイバーが決着をつけるまでここで籠城。
I do fear that I had things a bit backwards here, but we'll see how this plays out.
そう、なるほどね。確かにすごい数の使い魔だもの。イリアは心配することないって言うけど、セイバーにだって限度があるし、移動しきる前に大元を叩きに行ったんだ。
そうみたいね。ここを見張ってた竜河兵たちも庭に移動してるし、キャスターのやつセイバーに追い詰められて必死みたい。けどこれで詰めね。キャスターじゃどうあってもセイバーには勝てないもの。
本当だ。周りの音聞こえなくなってる。
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't sense any enemies anymore. As long as we don't go outside, those bones won't attack us. If Ilya's right, the battle should be over soon. I don't think it's that easy, guys. Saber won't lose in single combat. She shouldn't have any trouble cutting Caster down since she doesn't have to worry about protecting us.
浮かない顔ね。すぐに決着がつくっていうのに納得いかない顔してるけど。
そういう遠坂だってどこか気に食わないって顔だけどな。
まあね。ちょっとうまくいきすぎてるから。
That's what I'm saying. No, it can never go this well.
セイバーの強さがキャスターの予想以上だったにしろ、何の用心もなしに自分から仕掛けてくるかなって。
She's right. Caster came here willingly. If she knows that there's a master here, she should already know which servant is here too. So she knows that Saber is here, and that Saber is a bad matchup for her. If she knew that and still attacked, that means...
音が止んだ。イリア、キャスターの気配は？
消えたわ。使い魔はまだ残ってるけど、残っているサーバントはセイバーだけよ。
使い魔が残ってる。シロ、腕。
What's going on with his arm? I look down at my left arm. Oh, fuck. Oh, it's over. It's over, guys. It's over. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't understand what happened. My command spells, proof of my contract with Saber, are gone.
シロ、霊樹使った？
いや、俺は霊樹なんて使ってない。
What happened? What's going on? This is obviously a bad ending, but how did we get to it, you know? I want to know what happens here, and then we'll flip back. Saber should have defeated Caster easily. I mean, it was a trap, but would it have made more sense for Shirou to accompany her? So then why did my command spell disappear? No, my command spell disappearing doesn't mean my contract is severed. I shouldn't be panicking. Command spells are there to control servants who may act against their master's orders. I haven't needed to use them for Saber. So even if I lose the command spell, Saber and I should be able to get along fine.
セイバー、帰ってきたわ。もうすぐここにやってくる。
She's gonna be killing us, isn't she? Oh no, guys, what's gonna happen here? What are those two doing? Saber's just coming back, so why do they seem so worried? The door opens. Saber comes in. Saber's gripping her chest. She seems to be in pain.
セイバー！
I rush to her.
待ってシロ。
I don't hear Tosuka's warning. All I see is that Saber is injured.
大丈夫かセイバー？どこを？
Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is.
ダメ、逃げてシロ。セイ
Yeah, she's being controlled, isn't she? In a single stroke, my body is cut in half from the shoulder to the waist. So quick is the slash that for a moment, I don't even feel pain. My mysterious healing abilities don't seem to work against the attack from Saber's sword. The world starts to go dark. As I die, more than my fear of death, I find myself wondering why Saber attacked me. I'm trying to remember if there was some indication that, or something that casters said back in that first bad ending that I had gotten about acquiring Saber for themselves or something. I feel like, yeah, let's go through the Tiger Dojo. I feel like that was something that came up at some point. I could be totally wrong, actually. Or misremembering overall. It's been a while since we've been here. Yeah, easily avoided, alright. Yeah, that's rough.
どんなに優勢だろうと油断しちゃいけないっていうことかな。シローはマスターなんだから、セイバーちゃんのちょっとつ猛進なところを諌めてあげないとダメだぞ。
違うわ。今回悪いのはセイバーでしょ。キャスターなんかの罠にかかっちゃって気が抜けてる証拠だわ。大方シロを意識して一人でいいところを見せようとしたんでしょうね。なのにシロを殺しちゃうなんてセイバーのクラスも落ちたものだわ。
Wow, that's rough.
それにやれ最強って言うけど勝ち星は少ないし、体は小さいし、レディーとしての魅力も足りないし、なんかセイバーって大ぐらいなだけのパワーキャラって感じ？
To some degree, yes.
イリアちゃん、ストップストップ。セイバーちゃんも反省してるし、こう傷口に塩塗りたくるのはまずいでござるよ、武士として。
そっか、武士道は色なし恋なし情けありだっけ。仕方ない。今回の不手際は多めに見てあげるわ。けどセイバーに首輪をつけなきゃいけないのは本当だよ。だってそうでもしないと他のデッドルートでもこう。
See, this is sort of what I was thinking, you know? Like, the two of them need to stick together. Like, I don't know. I thought that Shirou was like, he was the puzzle piece that was most dangerous to place down out there in battle. So, I don't know.
ごめん。
師匠、なんで体罰するんですか？
We just don't know too much on Caster, I guess.
そう
being a
いう話
little,
は禁止。ネタバレは良くないし、
a
セイ
little too
バーちゃんを
cautious.
怒らせちゃダメ。あの子怒ると本気で怖いわよ。ちょっと前セイバーちゃんをからかって臨死体験した子もいるんだから。
それって13日目のことだよね。あれは楽しかった。ってタイガー、なんか今グルルとか聞こえなかった？
別に聞こえない。うわー！ライバル出現の巻！
何あれ、変なのが変なのに乗ってきた。
What is happening? What happened? What the fuck? What the fuck was that? Yeah, we'll go back to the most recent decision point. Because we're gonna believe in Tosaka. And we're gonna head out there. I hear glass shattering. I hear the sound of intense fighting coming from the living room.
シロ、指示を。迷っている時間はありません。
I know. My delaying is making the situation worse.
キャスターを叩く。イリアは遠坂に任せると言ったんだ。
では行きましょう。マスター、私の背中を任せます。
Yeah, let's work together here. Whatever Caster's gonna throw us, we got this shit, I guess. We're gonna find out, I suppose, here. She hurries down the hall, mowing down bones as she goes. The bone soldiers disappear before getting anywhere near Saber. They're like vanishing snowflakes. Saber scatters so many in her path, it looks like a snowstorm. She said that she'd trust her back to me. but she pretty clearly doesn't need me to protect her. I am once again reminded how skilled a swordsman's Saber is. Saber charges through them, unwavering. She cuts her way straight to the source of these bones. Her only goal now is to defeat the yet unseen sixth servant that has invaded the house. Saber stops. The soldiers, which had been coming at us in droves, are suddenly gone. This must be our destination. A distorted human figure looms ahead of us. It wears a robe of some kind, but the robe itself is so dark that it looks more like a hole in the night. A dark shadow. As soon as I lay eyes on the figure, I'm struck by an indescribable sense of anxiety. Yeah, no shit.
あなたがセイバー。なるほど。確かにこれならバーサーカーを倒し得るわね。
The figure chuckles. It seems the dark figure is the master of those bone creatures, Caster. But
マスターがいない。
there's no sign of a master nearby. Maybe she's the same as Lancer, able to move even far from her master.
貴様、契約が切れているのか。
Saber challenges her directly with the question.
ええ。彼は私の主にふさわしくなかった。
Oh.
だから消えてもらったし、消えてしまった。
I wonder who it was. That's interesting. I can't see the expression on the robed servant's face, but I can hear the terrible coldness in Caster's voice.
マスター殺し。では、貴様のマスターは？
とっくに死んだわ。けれど問題はないのよ、セイバー。私たちは魂食いでしょ。魔力の供給源なんていくらでも溢れている。
That's crazy though, but like, the servant is supposed to be under like a master's control. That's where the command spells come into play. How could that have happened? I mean, for Saber to kill, you know, Shirou, that was Caster's doing, I'm very certain. Something else has to be going on here.
あとはそう、聖杯さえ手に入れてしまえば心配は何もなくなるでしょうね。
貴様も現世の復活を望むのか。どこの英霊かは知らぬが、そのためにかつての誇りを捨てたのか。
あら、人間風情に使われるのは誇りを捨てるとは言わないのかしら。私はそれが我慢ならなかっただけよ。今も昔も誰かの手足になるのはこりごりなの。だから使う側に回っただけ。
だろうな。私も貴様の非業になど興味はない。
Saber tilts her body just slightly. She's only about 10 meters from Caster. Saber should be able to close that distance and bring Caster down in a heartbeat.
物騒ね。せっかく話し合いに来たのに問答無用だなんて。これでも手加減はしたつもりなのですよ。
貴様と話すことなどない。潔くここで散れ。
At least that's the intention. Saber is intent only on killing. I'm not about to oppose her in this case. All I smell from Caster is blood. She must be telling the truth about murdering her master. Her raid tonight was clearly intended to kill everyone in the house. So there's no reason for me to stop Saber. Besides, Caster isn't even a threat to Saber. Even I can see Caster's abilities. She is the weakest when it comes to one-on-one combat. If Saber engages her, she can only lose.
ダメだ、セイバー。
Yeah, there's something else going on here. A trap is laid, and maybe that's where things went wrong. That trap is what actually takes hold of Saber, and Caster can do whatever she wants with her. Even with all of that in mind, I can't shake off this sense of anxiety. It's not the same feeling of hopeless, inevitable death that I got whenever we were in Berserker's presence. Do I just have some sort of aversion to her? Or is it a warning of something dangerous? Forget about me. Somehow my left hand is aching to warn me that Saber should stay away from that thing. And that thing just dipped out. I hesitated too long. Saber launches herself at the dark shadow. Caster smiles. She doesn't look at all disturbed as Saber rushes toward her. Hey, yo. That was not English. Or whatever. She mutters Atlas. I guess it kind of was. I can't understand what she says, but it sends something beyond words straight into our minds. The world lurches and distorts. The air grows denser around Saber. I hear, even feel a tremendous impact. The ground flexes like something massive slammed into Saber from above. Hey, we have new servant data though. Let's go check it out, even so we're like in the middle of battle. Here's Caster. Absolutely no fucking strength. The rest of this is pretty okay, kind of a lacking noble phantasm, but obviously the magic is gonna be, you know, ballin'. No hero info. Skill, we have territory creation, creating an advantageous territory for oneself as a mage. It is possible to form a temple that exceeds a shed. Interesting. Item construction. That seems to be pretty self-explanatory. But then there's rapid words of divine. Can activate magecraft without saying an incantation or connecting with magic circuits. Even great magecraft can be cast in one step, a single action. There are words from the Age of Gods, so modern people cannot pronounce them. Maybe that's what we just heard. And we don't have anything on a noble phantasm. We'll get all that soon, I'm sure. Actually, I think she murmured something like an incantation. Yeah, there we go. Incantations can be shortened. The simpler the magecraft, the shorter the spell can be made. But this isn't by any means simple magecraft. Not many mages could visualize such a thing in a single breath. Even if it were possible, they would need to prepare a catalyst ahead of time, like Tosaka does. But Caster triggered the magecraft with a murmured word. I have never even heard of anything like this. If that is Caster's magecraft, she is no mere mage.
Saber!
Saber hovers there frozen. Her feet still kick in midair. She hangs suspended there. The air around her seems to have thickened into gelatin. I can't get close. Some sort of invisible barrier holds me back. The murkiness seems confined to Saber, but so long as her feet don't touch the ground, she can't move.
侮ったよね、セイバー。あなたの時代の魔術師がどれほどだったかは知らないけど、この指は寝台に生きたもの。こんなマッセの魔術師たちから見れば、私の技は魔法のそれでしょう。
A ridiculing laugh echoes out from the depths of that dark robe. Saber is still suspended, helpless in the air.
なんだ。本当にこの程度ですか、キャスター。
Wow. She dismisses this as if it were some dull trick.
大魔力。そんな、私の魔術すら弾くというのか。
I thought you were, like, aware of this. That's how we died in the first ending that I got. Caster steps back. After casually nullifying Caster's magecraft, Saber surges toward her at lightning speed. But I... Ah, fuck. God damn it. No. I don't think that she should be anywhere near Caster. I still don't think. Yeah, let's say no. Saber raises her sword. She's already closed in on Caster. I desperately sprint towards Saber, my heart racing. Saber suddenly halts. It's not clear whether Caster did anything. Saber tenses up after sensing something from Caster. Yeah, see, there's something else going on here. Saber twists away to dodge. However, bony arms burst from the ground to grab her legs.
予知直感まで持っているとは予想外だったけれど、これで罪ね、セイバー。
Yeah, that was the right move. Getting that bad end earlier really got us going in the right track there. A sharp blade emerges from the folds of Caster's robe. It's an oddly shaped dagger, thin and brittle. That blade isn't meant for killing. Saber regards it in disgust, and Caster strikes, clearly seeing her opportunity for victory. Being grabbed from the ground must have surprised Saber, as Saber is unable to dodge or deflect the falling dagger and simply takes the blow, looking astonished. I hear Caster's voice from behind me somewhere. I can't see her expression. The only thing I can do is throw myself in front of Saber and take the blow in her place, which we have done before. This is not our first go-around. It wasn't graceful. I didn't have the confidence to just step in and take the dagger to the chest. So instead, I tried to shield Saber, hugging her to obscure Caster's target. And so Caster's dagger plunges into my back, tearing through my spine in a moment of unbelievable pain. I stop myself from crying out in pain and muster my strength to support Saber.
Shirou.
I can't hear what she's saying, even as close as she is to my ear. Saber understands before I can gather my voice to tell her to jump. I go flying. Saber shakes off the bony hands gripping her legs and carries me with her.
Shirou, kizu.
Saber's voice is urgent. She lays me gently on the ground, but the pain only grows worse. It feels like scissors tore open my back and someone poured lead down my spine. The pain is unreal.
Shirou, しっかりしてください. Shirou!
Yeah, we're going into shock, but we'll do that. We'll stay calm. But I'm not exactly losing my mind over it. Hearing Saber practically shouting actually makes me calmer.
バカ、そんな大声出さなくても聞こえてる。こんなの痛いだけでどうってことない。今は俺よりキャスト。
I point in Caster's direction, my head still down.
はい。すぐに決着をつけます。少しの間だけ辛抱してください。
Saber turns towards Caster.
今のが貴様の宝具か、キャスター。
Saber's voice is harsh, angry. The black shadow clicks her tongue in irritation and raises the strange dagger in her hand.
ええ。見ての通り生倉で、人間一人殺せないものですけどね。あなたが直感した通り、ある事柄に関してのみ万能とされる魔法触れたくないのなら、私には近寄らないことね、セイバー。
Caster's talking bold, but she doesn't seem as composed as earlier. Even a powerful mage like Caster can't hurt Saber as long as she's only using magecraft. Whatever her noble phantasm might be, it can't hurt Saber, even if she surprises her with it.
お前ならあとは問題なく倒す。
I give my orders through gritted teeth.
あら、それでいいの、セイバー。確かにあなたなら私を追い詰められるわ。けど、その間に誰がそこの男を守るのかしらね。
Oh, what a lovely, convenient, unfortunate situation here.
言うまでもないでしょうけど、私の魔術が通じないのはあくまであなただけ。あなたがそこの坊やから離れれば、追い詰められた私が何をするか予想がつくのではなくて。
貴様。
Saber's voice rumbles up from deep in her chest. The rattling of bones grows louder. I'm kneeling on the ground and Saber holds her sword, defending me as the bones surround us. I messed up. Even if I manage to save Saber, there's no point with me being left so weak. I can't move properly, so I'm just slowing Saber down. Caster would be no threat to Saber alone, but with me to worry about.
話し合いに来たと言ったな、キャスター。
セイバー。
マスターは黙っていてください。今はこれが正しい選択です。
Saber lowers her sword. I think I hear Caster laugh amid the sound of the rattling bones all around us.
話を聞こう、キャスター。条件によっては見逃してやってもいい。
正気？あなたたちの命は私が握っているのです。
Yeah, I was gonna say, Saber, it's the other way around here.
そんな強気な態度に出られると、つい握りつぶしてしまいそうだわ。
間違えるな。貴様が握っているのは私ではなく、私のマスターの命だけだ。
Yeah, supposedly.
だが、それを潰すというのなら、 私も容赦はしない。この身が消え去る前に我が剣の全てをもって貴様を焼き尽くす。
The air around us goes cold. Saber's words intimidate Caster. I can feel it.
いいわ。そこの坊やには手を出さない。もともと私の目的はあなただもの。
You know, there's the evidence, by the
マス
way.
ターを見逃しても支障はないわ。
It was never about Shirou.
初めから私が目的？
そうよ。バーサーカーを倒したほどの英霊を見逃す手はないわ。残るサーバントは私とあなた。それにランサーだけ。
Wait.
あなたを味方に引き入れれば、ランサーなど敵ではないもの。
I may not be the best at counting, but aren't we missing one?
残り3人。では、アサシンはすでに倒されたのか？
さあ、もういないのだから倒されたのでしょう。主も守れないサーバントは消えて当然よ。
Oh, maybe his master died? Assassin was defeated? Does that mean the master in Ryudo Temple is gone? I didn't fight them, or even know who they were. But now there's one less master. So the only remaining servants are Saber, Caster, and Lancer, who hasn't shown up since that first night. Yeah, it has been a while with
く
Lancer.
だらない無駄話はそこまでよ。私が欲しいのはあなたのその宝具だけ。マスターを殺されたくなければ、おとなしくその剣を渡しなさい。
It's actually pretty crazy. This war is almost over.
それこそ無意味な。この剣を扱えるのは私だけだ。宝具はその持ち主でなければ使えないと、英霊ならば分かっていよう。
Allegedly.
ああ、そうだったわね。けどそれならあなたごといただくまでの話よ、セイバー。どんなに優れた騎士でも捕らえてしまえばどうとでも懐柔できるし、何よりあなたは私の好みですからね。
Persuaded like they make the choice to join your side or the choice is made for them.
しつけるのは楽しそうだわ。
Her voice drips with amusement. I feel myself on the verge of passing out even as my anger boils over. I try to shove the pain aside and start to force myself to stand on numb legs. I'm not going to let Saber get captured because of me. I decided that I'm going to protect Saber, so I'm not letting a wound like this bring me down. I grab my wooden sword and start slashing at the bones surrounding us.
いけない、シロ！
Saber's voice is brittle, tense.
そう。自殺したいのなら止めはしないわ。
It wouldn't be the first time. Caster mocks me as I struggle. Bones crack and rattle, and as if to muffle all those sounds. What is going on? What is happening? What the fuck was all that? The bones are swept aside in the blink of an eye by a sudden volley of arrows. Arrows? We all stand dumbfounded. The arrows that rain down on us disappear as if they had been an illusion. But they weren't. The entire horde of bones is gone.
誰だ?
Caster looks up. Saber must have noticed earlier. Well before Caster, she stares up towards the wall in disbelief. Who the fuck? Who the hell? What the? Who the fuck is that guy? I don't understand what I'm seeing. There is a golden figure standing with the moon behind them. It's a man clad in golden armor, looking down at the yard with a cruel smile.
何者?
Caster raises her voice, instinctively realizing that this is the one who annihilated her troops. He gives no answer. He's not even looking at Caster. His eyes are fixed on one person alone, Saber.
答えなさい。何者かと聞いているのです。
Caster's voice is heavy with emotion. The golden-armored man finally looks at her. Castor gasps as the man's red eyes bore into her. His gaze is impossibly cold. He doesn't even see Castor as human. I can tell as far away as I am. I don't blame Castor for being intimidated, like some icy hand has a grip on her heart, since she looks straight into his eyes. Castor's voice trembles as she speaks. She must know she's doomed if she doesn't do something. But Jesus. His answer comes as a death sentence. I hear a loud snap. By the time I realize it's the sound of him clicking his fingers, the tragedy has begun. Myriad weapons appear in the air, shooting toward Castor like bullets from a machine gun. Castor raises her arm. A conceptual shield envelops her. It forms a glassy film in front of Castor. It is likely every bit as durable as Berserker himself, but her efforts are probably fruitless as the barrier is merely glass. And glass does break eventually. Her crystalline barrier shatters under the deadly rain of so many weapons. She sounds utterly dumbfounded, with not a modicum of concern for Castor as she so pitifully tilts her head in wonder. The weapons tear through her dark robe. They are merciless. Spears tear into her, sending fabric flying, only for yet more of them to plunge into her body. Swords cut down her falling form, while arrows sail toward an arm as it is about to hit the ground. An axe chops off a head about to complain of the pain. All of it brings Castor to untold peaks of agony. She can't possibly survive. Castor, succumbing to an endless hail of so many different weapons, is no longer even recognizably human. The wind flows. Her tattered, empty robe floats away. The shredded pieces of it fly skyward in the evening breeze. That torn robe tries valiantly to hold its form. Maybe because it's the only thing remaining to remind us of Castor. I'm completely speechless. My frozen mind is fixed on the miserable remnants of that robe as they float away. And then... The man in gold grunts contemptuously. I'm not hallucinating. The dark robe twists like the coils of a snake, then sprouts wings to fly away. But it's too late. I don't know what the man did. I only see a crack in the night sky itself. Like a wave breaking out at sea, the fault line engulfs the fluttering robe. It's like a person being run over by a steamroller. That was very specific. The robe falls. Castor is beneath it, unscathed. And then, right back to it, a storm of magical swords rains down onto her. That was a good scream. Her scream splits the night. More swords fall upon her in response, and her scream grows louder. Castor must be able to heal herself like Saber. Even all those swords impaling her is still not enough to kill her. But it's hard to watch. The torrent of swords do not stop. Each weapon is different. No two are alike. And as much as I don't want to admit it, each of the weapons is a magical sword or spear, and is easily a match for a servant's noble phantasm. An inexhaustible supply of noble phantasms rains down onto Castor. Seeing the way she struggles under it is just... Oh man, guys, she's going crazy here. Give us that laughter. Let's hear it. Well, I was expecting a little bit more than that, but alright. And that is the end of Caster. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. That is all we're getting out of Caster. Really? She disappears along with the black mist that was hiding her. The infinite cycle of torture that seemed to drag on forever lasted in actuality about 10 seconds. During that time, Saber stood scowling at the Golden Knight.
魔術師風情が騎士王を捕らえるなどと口にするのも大罪よ。あれは王である俺のものだ。王の宝に手を出す輩にはかような串刺しが似合っていよ。
Who is this man?
さて、久しいなセーバー。覚えているか？俺が下した決定を。
His tone turns amicable as he addresses Saber. But Saber doesn't answer. She only glares all the more intensely at him.
なんだその顔は。未だ覚悟ができていないというのか。あれから10年だぞ。すでに心を決めても良い頃だが。ああ。もっともそれは俺だけの話なのか。
He won the war.
お前にとってはつい先日の話であった。
This was a servant from the previous war.
まったく。
The war she was last
男を
in.
待たせるとはたわけた女だ。
He laughs heartily. My heart's pounding. Partly from the disaster I just witnessed. But beyond that, the way he's looking at Saber is making me nauseous.
まだ雑種が残っていたか。
He glances toward the house, annoyed. I look and see Tosika and Ilya on the veranda in front of the living room.
何？
Yeah, good question, but you guys really should have stayed inside. Ilya looks up at the man like she's just seen a ghost. She strains her eyes for a moment and then shakes her head in disbelief.
嘘。あなた。
たわけ。見てわからぬか？
I think we're missing an A there, but Ilya jumps off the veranda and glares at the man as if in challenge.
知らない。私、あなたなんて知らない。私が知らないサーバントなんて。
Hey, yo.
待て、イリア。
My words don't reach her. Ilya releases a mass of magical energy straight at the man. I hear it rushing through the air. He does nothing. A mirrored shield appears in front of him and reflects Ilya's attack back at her. She'd been so blind and desperate in her attack that now she has no time to react to it. Ilya can only stand there as her attack rebounds toward her. Thank you, Rin.
聞いた。
Tosika steps in and saves her, blocking the attack.
なるほど。今回はまた変わり種だな。前回の鉄を踏まぬよう少しは工夫したということか。
He looks down at Ilya, scrutinizing her. He looks at Ilya the same way he looks at Saber, coldly as though appraising prized possessions.
やだ。私はあなたなんて嫌いなんだから。
Ilya glares at the man while Tosika tries to hold her back.
貴様の事情なぞ知らん。いいから早く開け。そら、せっかくの5人目なのだからな。
What? He says it so simply. I'm not sure why that had any effect on her. Ilya trembles violently and then slumps to the ground. That's it. Nothing else can happen. Tosika and I can only look up at the man. We completely understand. He's not looking at us. If either of us so much as speaks up, we will meet the same fate as Castor. But not Saber. Her silence as she stares up at the Golden Knight is entirely different than ours.
なぜあなたが限界しているのです。
fuck.
Archer.
Oh, shit. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense with the weapons rained down, but... Saber... Oh, maybe, I don't know. Saber tries to keep her voice under control. Tosuka and I can only gasp in surprise.
なぜも何もなかろう。聖杯は俺のものだ。自らの持ち物を取りに来て何が悪い？
ふざけたことを。あなたはそのような英雄ではない。いや。
やめておけ。その先を口にしては戦わざるを得なくなるぞ、騎士王よ。いや、もとよりそのつもりであったが、今日がそがれた。
Well, he fully knows her identity, too. And with that, the man in gold turns away. He turns his back to us as if to demonstrate that we are no threat.
いずれ会うぞ、セイバー。あの時から俺の決定は変わらぬ。次に出向くまでに心を決めておくがいい。
He disappears. The tension fades and the yard returns to the usual tranquility. But it's the only thing that returns to how it was. The Emiya house is in shambles and Ilya has fainted. And Saber, still with her back to us, remains silent. Well, we have new servant data. And weapon data. Holy shit. We got a visit from the archer of the previous war. And man, does he seem menacing. Let's check out the servant data. Yeah, we have another archer down here. Anything else on Caster? Because, yeah, we didn't really learn much about her there. So we have the other archer, who has the most insane of noble phantasms, I suppose. Chaotic good is his alignment. Okay. Wait, what was Caster's? Neutral evil? All right. I mean, that makes sense, I guess. Evil of some sort, but it's definitely not lawful. Okay, let's see. No hero info, skill, magic resistance. Yeah. Independent action, a skill that allows movement without a master. Yeah, 100%. Charisma, the ability to command and lead large armies. With this amount of charisma, it is closer to magecraft or a curse rather than a skill representing high esteem. Okay, well, there we go on that. And wow, we have a lot of weapons. I think I have kind of slacked on the weapon category here. So we know about this. This is the sword that that Shirou was able to conjure up. A sacred sword that represents King Arthur, England's King of Knights. Caliburn symbolizes the king whom the mage Merlin led to pull the sword from the Stone of Appointment. It is distinct from the sacred sword Excalibur bestowed by the Fairy of the Lake, and its characteristics as a noble phantasm differ somewhat. However, Saber seems to be profoundly attached to this sword. Since swords are a symbol of power, the swords of kings have always been relegated to an ornate ceremonial role. This marks the largest difference between Excalibur and Caliburn. In exchange for its regal beauty, it is nowhere near as effective of a weapon as Excalibur. According to legend, Caliburn broke when King Arthur fought in a battle that violated the principles of chivalry. Don't think we've read about this one, but this is Durandal, the sacred sword of Roland and Roland the Paladin from medieval Europe. Durandal was said to have been granted to Charlemagne by angels, and he had bestowed the sword upon Roland, chief among the 12 peers. It is said to be a radiant sword containing 3 miracles and does not lose its sharpness even if its wielder's magical energy is exhausted. As with Caliburn, it was forged to be a splendid symbol of authority. Have not read this one either. Harp, the divine sword that Perseus, a famous hero of Greek myth, used to slay Gorgon Medusa. Harp itself is not particularly outstanding as a sword, but its most unique property is its ability to refract longevity. This is a divine power that nullifies power of immortality, and wounds made by Harp can never be restored, though healing via neutral laws is still possible, or natural laws, excuse me. It was used to kill Medusa, the youngest of 3 immortal sisters. Okay, this looks interesting. This is Vajra. I don't even know if we're supposed to pronounce the J, but whatever. One of the core divine symbols of Indra, the god of thunder, is in ancient Indian mythology. Indra was a phenomenon initially spread to India by the Aryans, and Vajra is also officially known as, I cannot pronounce that. I have no idea how you would even begin to pronounce that. Like, I can't do an SRI. As Buddhism grew in influence, Indra's name became Sakra or Taishakutan, and his divine symbol's name changed as well. Vajra is a noble phantasm that can only be loosed once, dealing damage, I guess unleashed, utilized, dealing damage equivalent to B+ rank. It is a convenient weapon that inflicts a fixed amount of damage regardless of the user's magical energy. Vajra refers to the diamond pestle carried by Buddhist gods. Oh, wow, this looks like a sword right here. This is Dainsleif, the magical sword of the Nibeling. No, I can't do it. Nibeling. I can't. I lose myself there. But Dainsleif is a cursed noble phantasm that brings ruin to its owner. This sword was passed down through the tribe that killed the Norse hero Siegfried. It was initially part of the horde of Fafnir the dragon. It holds a powerful curse and retaliation, while also driving its owner's fate to ruin. Magical swords and sacred swords carry both glory and destruction, but this noble phantasm only brings destruction to its owner. Yeah, that sounds fun. Okay, we know about this. We know about this. And did I ever read about this one? The Heaven Scorcher Halberd? A type of Ji polearm historically used in China. Did I ever read about this one? I don't think so. A Ji is a long-shafted weapon used for piercing, striking, and many other uses. It is a versatile weapon that anyone can be trained on, but nonetheless, it faded into history until it was revived as the Fangxian Ji, Heaven Scorcher Halberd, in the Song Dynasty. Piercing, slashing, hooking, repelling. Well, there are many ways to use this polearm. Exceptional technique is required to master it. The crescent-shaped blade is called Yuya, Moon Fang, and a Ji that only mounts a single Yuya is called a Xinglong Ji, or Cerulean Dragon Halberd. Out of the many Heaven Scorcher Halberds, did only this weapon sublimate to a noble phantasm because it was used regularly by a famous warrior. Why is that a question? Okay, we're gonna wrap it up on that one. That was a lot of reading there. I didn't realize I was that fucking behind on the weapons, or that all just popped up at once. Yeah, I don't know. But what an episode. I had no idea that that was gonna happen. No idea at all. And if we look at the flowchart, yep, Tiger Dojo 9. When was the last one that we did? What number was that? I'm curious. I just want to know. Which one was it? It was before that. It was right here. Okay, so we missed 8. 8, I'm sure, was with the that had to have been with the battle with Berserker if we made the wrong choice there. So I'm still collecting these, it seems. That was our 4th one, I think. 4 deaths? Do we have 4 bad endings? I think we do. So there's that. All right. Thank you all for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know I did. I absolutely did. Wowzers. I was not expecting any of that. And a whole fucking, box of what the fuck has now just been open. But thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.